You have likely heard that a credit score of 700 is the minimum requirement for renting a desirable apartment. Yet in some of America's most competitive cities, the actual score landlords seek can be quite different. Conversely, in smaller towns, that number may be significantly lower than you would expect. Imagine you have found an ideal apartment. The location is perfect, the light is excellent, but one concern remains: your credit score. This guide will clarify the credit scores that are typically accepted for apartment rentals and explain how you can leverage this information. First, it is useful to understand the landlord's perspective. Why is this three-digit number so important to them? The reason is not personal. A credit score is simply the quickest method for a landlord to assess your financial reliability. They are operating a business and require assurance that rent will be paid on time each month. Your payment history, current debts, and any significant issues like bankruptcies or evictions are reviewed to predict your financial behavior. Understanding their viewpoint allows you to build a stronger application, even if your score is not ideal. Let's address a common misconception. There is no single universal credit score required to rent an apartment. While 700 is often cited, particularly for luxury properties, the reality is more complex. Data indicates the average credit score for renters in the United States is approximately 650. Therefore, a good score, typically in the 670 to 739 range, is a solid benchmark. However, many individuals secure leases with scores well below this. As a general guideline, many landlords and property managers view a score of at least 620 to 650 as a baseline. The required credit score becomes particularly nuanced when considering geography. That 650 average can shift substantially based on your location. The more competitive the rental market, the higher the credit expectations tend to be. For instance, in the nation's most expensive rental markets, the average renter possesses a higher score. Consider these cities. In San Francisco, the average renter's credit score is approximately 719. Boston follows closely, with an average of about 716. Renters in New York City have an average score of 715. In these markets, landlords have more applicants to choose from, and a score above 700 provides a distinct advantage for premier apartments. However, the situation is different in less competitive areas. In many cities, and especially in smaller towns or suburbs, landlords are often more flexible. They may be satisfied with a score in the low 600s. Some private landlords will even consider applicants with scores in the fair range, from 580 to 669, provided the other elements of the application are strong. The primary takeaway is that location is a critical factor. So, what credit score is truly necessary? The answer depends on the city, the specific apartment, and the landlord. The idea of a single required number is a myth. The national average is closer to 650. And in many regions, a score in the low 600s is perfectly acceptable. More importantly, your credit score is just one component of your financial profile. By understanding a landlord's criteria, preparing thorough documentation, and clearly communicating your personal story, you can substantially improve your chances of securing the apartment you desire. Do not be discouraged by a number.